The Epic of Sundiata, The Lion's Awakening. A short while after this interview between Nare Magan and his son, the king died. Sagalan's son was no more than 7 years old. The council of elders met in the king's palace. It was no use. Dao was defending the king's will, which reserved the throne for Mari Djata, for the council took no account of Nare Magan's wish. With the help of Sasuma Barete's intrigues, Dinkaran Tuman was proclaimed king and a regency council was formed in which the Queen Mother was all-powerful. A short time after Dawa died. As men have short memories, Sagalan's son was spoken of with nothing but irony and scorn. People had seen one-eyed kings, one-armed kings, and lame kings, but a stiff-legged king had never been tell of. No matter how great the destiny promised for Marie Djata might be, the throne could not be given to someone who had no power in his legs. If the jinn loved him, let them begin by giving him the use of the legs. Such were the remarks that Sagalan heard every day. The Queen Mother, Sasuma Barete, was the source of all this gossip. Having become all-powerful, Sasuma Barete persecuted Sagalan because the late Nare Magan had preferred her. She banished Sagalan and her son to a backyard of the palace. Mari Djata's mother now occupied an old hut which had served as a lumber room of Sasuma's. The wicked Queen Mother allowed free passage to all those inquisitive people who wanted to see the child that still crawled at the age of 7. Nearly all of the inhabitants of Niani filled into the palace, and the poor Sagalan wept to see herself thus given over to public ridicule. Mari Djata took on a ferocious look in front of the crowd of sightseers. Sagalan found a little consolation only in the love of her eldest daughter, Kalanakan. She was 4, and she could walk. She seemed to understand all her mother's miseries, and already she helped her with the housework. Sometimes when Sagalan was attending to the chores, it was she who stayed beside her sister Djarmu, quite small as yet. Sagalan Kajau and her children lived on the Queen Mother's leftovers, but she kept a little garden in the open ground behind the village. It was there that she passed her brightest moments looking after her onions and gaungaus. One day she happened to be short of condiment and went to the Queen Mother to beg a little baobab leaf. "Look you," said the malicious Sasuma, "I have a calabash full. Help yourself, you poor woman. As for me, my son knew how to walk at 7, and it was he who went and picked those baobab leaves. Take them, then, since your son is unequal to mine." Then she laughed derisively, with that fierce laughter which cuts through flesh and penetrates right to the bone. Sagalan Kajo was dumbfounded. She had never imagined that hate could be so strong in a human being. With a lump in her throat, she left Sasuma's. Outside her hut, Mari Djata, sitting on his useless legs, was blandly eating out of a calabash. Unable to contain herself any longer, Sagalan burst into sobs and, seizing a piece of wood, hit her son. "Oh, son of misfortune, will you never walk? Through your fault I have just suffered the greatest affront of my life. What have I done, God, for you to punish me in this way?" Mari Djata seized the piece of wood and, looking at his mother, said, "Mother, what's the matter?" "Shut up. Nothing could ever wash me clean of this insult." "But what then?" "Sasuma has just humiliated me over a matter of baobab leaf. At your age, her son could walk and used to bring his mother baobab leaves." "Cheer up, mother, cheer up." "No, it's too much, I can't." "Very well, then, I am going to walk today," said Mari Djata. "Go and tell my father Smiths to make me the heaviest possible iron rod." Mother, do you want just the leaves of the baobab, or would you rather I brought you the whole tree? Ah, my son, to wipe out this insult, I want the tree and its roots at my feet outside my hut. Balafaseki who was present, ran to the master smith, Farkurao, to order an iron rod. Sagalan had sat down in front of her hut. She was weeping softly and holding her head between her two hands. Maritijata went calmly back to his calabash of rice and began eating again as if nothing had happened. From time to time he looked up discreetly at his mother, who was murmuring in a low voice, I want the whole tree in front of my hut, the whole tree.